friend, welcome back to Running to Myself. I'm your host, Tricia Stanton. Today I want to give you the secret to faster results. And it's not flashy, it's not trendy, it's not a shortcut, but it works. If you want faster results, go all in. Choose a plan and stick with it. That's it. It's that simple. And yet, almost no one does it. We live in a culture obsessed with acceleration, faster weight loss, faster business growth, faster healing, faster clarity, faster spiritual maturity, faster confidence, and what most people are actually looking for when they say faster is easier. They don't want faster through focus. They want faster through avoidance. They want results without the repetition. Outcome without discipline, progress without boredom. But that's not how growth works. When I was coaching athletes, I saw this pattern constantly. People would come to me excited. I want to run my first marathon. I want to run my first half marathon. I want to run my first 5K. And then I would build them a training plan. I was a certified running coach. I had completed multiple marathons myself, and I understood progressive overload, rest cycles, mileage increases, taper weeks, and cross training. I knew what it took to go from couch to 5K to half marathon to full marathon. And here's what would happen. I would hand over the schedule and I would literally watch their faces change. Eyes widen, color drain. I have to run 5 days a week? That was usually the first question. Not, can I build this fitness? Not, will this make me stronger? But do I really have to do all of it? And that right there is the fork in the road. Over and over, the pattern was predictable. The runners who followed the plan, not perfectly, but faithfully, showed up on race day. The runners who modified the hard parts out of it, they rarely made it to the starting line. Not because the plan was magical. Truthfully, a first-time race plan is very basic. It's not complicated, it's not sexy, it's mostly easy runs. It's consistency, it's repetition. It is designed to build a foundation. There's nothing magical about the plan. The magic is in the execution. The plan only works if you work it. But here's what most people try to do. They pick a plan, they soften it, they skip the long runs, they shorten the mileage, they avoid the strength work, they ignore the rest days, they double up runs to save time, they edit the plan so it feels more comfortable. But comfort and capacity are not the same thing. The very pieces they remove are often the pieces that produce the growth. The long run builds endurance. The easy runs build aerobic base. The strength work prevents injury, and the rest day allows adaptation. You can't remove the stimulus and expect the adaptation. And listen, this applies everywhere. It's not just about running. This is about anything you say you want. Stronger marriage, better boundaries, financial stability, spiritual depth, business growth, emotional maturity. We choose a plan, then we negotiate with it. We say we want transformation, but we only want the parts that feel convenient. Over my 20 years of running, I've followed many different training plans. Some were high mileage, some were minimalist, some focused on speed, some focused on endurance, some were built for Boston qualifying attempts. Some were built for ultramarathons. One plan wasn't better than another. They were simply aligned with different goals and seasons. And here's what I learned. When I followed the plan exactly as written, my results blew my mind. When I did the bare minimum, my results were also bare minimum. There was no mystery, there was no confusion. There was just alignment and execution. We love to say we're confused. I don't know what's working. I don't know why it isn't changing. I've tried everything. But have you? Or have you tried many things halfway? Have you committed or have you sampled? There is a difference between experimenting and executing. Experimenting says, I'll try this for a week. Executing says, I'm committing for 16 weeks. One builds evidence, the other builds excuses. Going all in is not about intensity, it's about identity. When I was training for my first marathon, I didn't feel like a marathoner, but I ran like one, 5 days a week, long runs on Sundays, early mornings, blisters, ice baths. I didn't become a marathoner on race day. I became a marathoner the day I started acting like one. The same is true for anything. You don't become disciplined after you see results. You become disciplined before you see results. You don't become confident after success. You build success by keeping commitments. Going all in doesn't mean burn yourself out, ignore your body, be rigid, be extreme. It means choose deliberately, commit fully, follow through consistently. Evaluate after the season is complete. Not midweek, not when it's uncomfortable, not when motivation dips. After the cycle is complete. When I coach, I tell clients this all the time. You cannot evaluate a plan you didn't actually follow. If you modified it constantly, you're evaluating your edits, not the plan. Here's the part no one wants to hear. The plan is usually boring. Running plans are repetitive. Budget plans are repetitive. Meal plans are repetitive. Spiritual disciplines are repetitive. Therapy exercises are repetitive. Repetition is what rewires. If you want faster results, paradoxically, you slow down and repeat. You stop switching, you stop tweaking, you stop shopping for a better method. You build depth instead of chasing novelty. Let's be honest. Why don't people go all in? Because going all in removes the escape hatch. If you fully commit and it doesn't work, that feels scary. If you halfway commit and it doesn't work, you can blame the plan. Going all in requires emotional maturity. It requires ownership. It requires delayed gratification. It requires you to sit in discomfort without immediately changing direction. But that discomfort is the doorway. Let's make this practical. Ask yourself, where am I saying I want faster results? Now ask, have I truly gone all in on one aligned plan? Or am I sampling? If your goal is physical fitness, have you followed one program for 12 to 16 weeks exactly as written? If your goal is emotional growth, have you consistently practiced the tools daily or only when you feel like it? If your goal is business growth, have you committed to one strategy long enough to collect real data? If your goal is deeper faith, have you shown up to the disciplines consistently or sporadically? Here's your challenge. Choose one goal, choose one aligned plan, and set a defined timeline. Remove negotiation, not forever, just for this season. Run the plan. Don't edit it midstream, don't evaluate it at week 3, and don't soften the hard parts. Finish the cycle, then assess. That's how adults train. That's how athletes grow. That's how character is built. So you want faster results? Go all in. The faster path is depth. The faster path is consistency. The faster path is alignment. The faster path is eliminating distraction. It's not glamorous, but it works. And I've seen it in running. I've seen it in coaching. I've seen it work in my own life. When I follow the plan, my results blow my mind. When I do the bare minimum, my results are bare minimum. There is no mystery here. There's only commitment. If you're in a season right now where you feel stuck or frustrated, maybe the question isn't what's the better plan. Maybe the question is, have I fully committed to the one I chose? Faster results don't come from switching. They come from staying. Choose, commit, execute, and let the compound effect surprise you. All right, friend, if this resonated with you, please share it with someone else who needs to hear it. And if you're ready to go all in on your own growth, whether that's mindset, relationships, discipline, or identity, I'd love to coach you through that season. I'll see you next week. Until then, keep running to yourself.